Christine, how much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out.
Now, I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion. But
the WNBA is staring down a brutal financial collapse, and let's be real, without Caitlin Clark, it feels like the whole empire is falling apart. Once again, this league has shown it's completely clueless about protecting the very player who dragged them from irrelevance to relevance. This is the story of how a league continues to shoot itself in the foot while their golden goose lies injured on the sidelines, and how their stubborn refusal to acknowledge reality is costing them millions of dollars every single day.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%. Not just the Fever, but the entire league.
We're living in an era where headlines thrive on drama and controversy, but cold hard facts? Those are rare, just like a sold-out WNBA game without Caitlin Clark. When Clark went down with that quad injury back on May 24th, the league's dependency on her was exposed in broad daylight. And now, with another groin injury sidelining her for who knows how long, the same ugly truth is repeating itself all over again.
Injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation. But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
National TV ratings for the WNBA tanked by a jaw-dropping 55%. And the Indiana Fever, Clark's team, saw a 53% drop when she wasn't on the floor. We're talking 1.81 million viewers with her versus barely 847,000 without her. But here's where it gets wild. This wasn't some shocking twist. This was inevitable. Predictable. A financial car crash the league saw coming, and did nothing to avoid.
Clark went down. The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55% across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th. National TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
While Caitlin Clark was out there filling arenas, shattering viewership records, and literally printing money for the league, the WNBA acted like nothing was happening. No effort to protect their most valuable asset, no safety net, no real plan. Think about this. One player responsible for more than a quarter of the league's entire economy, and the response is to let other teams rough her up while pretending it's just basketball plays. Make it make sense.
News is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated her fans.
And here's the part that really burns. This isn't new. We've seen this movie before, and the ending is always the same. The WNBA has been here, lost ratings, lost money, and yet refuses to learn from its own mistakes. It's like watching someone touch a hot stove, scream in pain, then go, well, maybe it'll be different this time, and touch it again. Spoiler, it's never different.
what's really concerning about this is the fact that we are only a month into the regular season, and Caitlin Clark has already been out with 2 injuries, with the first one being her having to miss some time with a left quad strain. Now, of course, this is concerning because if you're already on your second injury, you don't want to be that player that is always hurt. Cough, cough, Embiid, cough, cough, Anthony Davis. So I really do hope that the Fever really sits her out right now for a while, only because you don't want her to have more long-term injuries and be more prone to.
If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure you hit subscribe. Because the financial fallout? It's been brutal. Fever ticket prices collapsed by 71%. Some that were going for $860 are now sitting at $250. The average price across her missed games fell from a ridiculous $1,370 to just $80. That's not just a drop, that's free fall. Road games that had been upgraded to bigger arenas for Clark? They are half empty now. That Chicago Sky vs. Fever matchup, one of the hottest tickets all season, saw prices crash from $210 to $95. And let's not forget, the same game once pulled in 2.25 million viewers. Without Clark, it's just another matchup people scroll past.
Man, bruh. Congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA have successfully broken Caitlin Clark.
Christine Brennan, a veteran sports journalist, has been calling out the league's failures loud and clear. She's even got a book on the way, On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports, that's expected to rip the lid off the WNBA's missteps. Brennan nailed it when she said the league is blowing their biggest moment. Fans are watching like never before, and what they are seeing is cheap shots, hard fouls, and zero accountability. She compared it to a restaurant letting customers harass the chef, the same chef who's the only reason people even eat there in the first place. That's exactly what's happening.
As big a deal as Tiger was in men's golf, Keith, he did, and when he was gone, it affected the ratings, but nothing like that. And, Michael Jordan being out, maybe a 5 percentage points or something. Nothing like this. You can make a strong case, and I will make that case, and have that there is no one single athlete more important to his or her sport or tour or whatever the circuit is that they play on than Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA.
At this point, the script writes itself. Opponents foul Clark hard, not even pretending it's about basketball. Out of 30 flagrant fouls called in 2024, 5 have been on her, and the Chicago Sky alone are behind most of them. But here's the catch. When Clark fights back, she's labeled too aggressive. When she doesn't, she's too soft. A total no-win situation. Meanwhile, the WNBA's bottom line is getting wrecked. The league was already set to lose $50 million this year, and without Clark's star power, those losses are only climbing. Ratings are down, merch sales are cooling off, and arenas are slipping back into pre-Clark obscurity.
I don't even know where to begin, man. I hope Caitlin Clark is okay. I want to know when this injury even happened, bro, because let's be serious here. She has the quad injury. Mind you, Caitlin Clark hadn't missed a game since she was like 19 years old, since she was like 18 in college or something. Now she has a groin injury. We've never seen Caitlin Clark play as bad as she played the last 3 games. Let's just be serious here. She's like 1 for 20-something on threes in the last 3. We've never seen her shoot the ball this way. I'll say that. Has she been hurt and playing through this?
What makes this so frustrating is that it didn't have to go this way. Clark entered the league humble, team first, and mature beyond her years. She praised teammates, deflected credit, and brought positive energy. The WNBA could have built around her, protected her, elevated the entire game. Instead, jealousy and pettiness got in the way. And now, the ripple effect is huge. Sponsors are getting cold feet, wondering if they made the right call investing millions. At its core, this shows the league's identity crisis. Are they a serious professional sport, or are they chasing messy drama for clicks? You can't straddle both.
I admire about Caitlin. She's a warrior. She's tough. You hear me? Bruh, you just don't see players. You don't see female basketball players like her. I'm sorry. I haven't seen a lot of female basketball players, like I said.
And the comparison to other leagues is embarrassing. Imagine the NBA letting players repeatedly take dirty shots at LeBron James and brushing it off as just competition. The league would crack down in a heartbeat. But the WNBA? They are sitting back as if any attention is good attention. Newsflash, it's not. The lack of protection for Clark has turned the whole environment toxic. Fans are checking out, saying flat out they won't watch if she's not on the court. And worse, they don't even trust the officiating anymore. When your credibility dies, so does your product.
To clean up, I believe the physicality and all this hacking and fouling that goes on, she getting blindsided by Marina Mabry. I think all of this stuff is having a wear and tear and an impact. And all you guys are doing are hurting yourselves, because the numbers are going to drop and drop and drop. And trust me, when it's time for that collective bargaining agreement, they are going to point to this and say, well, how can we give you guys all this money? What happens if she gets hurt?
What really stings is that the league has had endless chances to fix this, and each time, they've fumbled it. Every single incident could have been their wake-up call to enforce rules and protect their stars. Instead, same old excuses. Basketball plays. Let them play. It's part of the game. Meanwhile, Clark's injury, the exact outcome they should have prevented, is the biggest proof of her value. A 55% drop in ratings is screaming the truth. Yet, league officials keep acting like physical fouls and dirty play are part of some noble competition. The double standard is crystal clear. When Clark makes a routine play, it's blown up as controversy. When she takes an actual cheap shot, silence.
Because of the way they play the game, because I love the WNBA, I love the way they play the game. But we really watch it because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knocking her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect the money. Y'all keep hurting her and all that. She going for a year or two. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. If nobody watches, how y'all gonna make and generate money?
The fix isn't rocket science, but it does mean tough choices. If the WNBA wants to be taken seriously as a pro league, it's time to act like it. That means setting clear rules, enforcing them without bias, and keeping the focus on basketball, not staged drama. And above all, protect the players who are actually filling arenas and driving record ratings. Clark isn't just another player. She's the engine. And the numbers back it up. Without her, average viewership sinks to 555,000, not even reaching last year's 670,000. That's a slide straight back to the pre-Clark era, when games barely mattered outside of hardcore fans.
What I saw walk into the game is what the media don't see. Thousands of kids.
Wearing what, Gil?
Kids. Huh?
What were they
Caitlin
wearing?
Clark jerseys.
Were they Fever jerseys? Were they Iowa jerseys? Were they
Wherever she played. It was whatever she played.
And that's what was more impressive to me.
It did that. It wasn't just it was Caitlin in the back.
For her style of play.
But her style of play. But it wasn't adults. Right. It was parents bringing their kids and their friends. Mm-hmm. Them seats was kids filled. Right. And that's what they don't they don't grasp that part of it.
And here's the heartbreak. It never had to be this way. With real protection and smart promotion, the WNBA could have used Clark's stardom to build something lasting. Instead, they've built a fragile house of cards that crumbles the second she's out. Until this league finally learns to safeguard the players who carry it, they'll stay trapped in this vicious cycle. Boom when the star's in, bust when she's out. The only question is, will they finally wake up and protect their golden goose, or will they keep letting petty politics drag them back into irrelevance? Honestly, judging by their track record, don't bet on common sense suddenly showing up.